Daqi, time to rewrite destiny. A grand wedding procession. Everyone celebrates the joyous occasion. It is a day deemed suitable for marriage. Who's the lucky bride getting married in style? Whispers spread, naming the Prime Minister's house. Prime Minister Yi, veteran and trusted. His favorite grandchild is the bride-to-be. Her name is Zhenzhen, a gem among the family. She was a princess, spoiled and cherished by everyone. Everyone admired the lucky bride. But the little girl wonders why she is so sad. Zhenzhen was on her way to become Empress. Zhenzhen was on her way to become Empress. How could anyone be upset about that? A few hours earlier, Zhenzhen prepared to become the emperor's bride. She will be presented to the imperial court. The royal emissary was almost here. The royal emissary was almost here. The family was ready for the crowning ceremony. The royal emissary arrived in the courtyard. Zhenzhen, her grandmother, asks her to marry the emperor. It is all to protect the empire, she reminds her. This marriage was arranged when the last emperor died. They all want to honor the crown and the deceased emperor. She understands her duty to the Yi family. She will become the empress of this nation. To maintain favor, Zhenzhen cannot fail. I shall abide by your request, Grandpa. She hated the emperor already. He was the kind of man she loathed most. Here he is, the emperor. He was expressionless. As they drink the wine, it was clear what was going to happen next. Zhenzhen thought the emperor was shameless. Zhenzhen knew that she must bear with him. She can do this. She must do this. She could not. She wanted to go home. Zhenzhen accepted her fate as the empress. Today, she will serve her first day. The emperor knew that Zhenzhen was trouble. Tonight, she became empress. What was she supposed to do now? The emperor confronted the empress. She apologized, accepting punishment. Punishment how? He couldn't tell his subjects. He knew they would question his authority. The emperor asked, "What's the matter?" Principal eunuch Feng Yaod entered urgently. Lady Grace was hurt. The emperor knew what he had to do. He swore that he would get back at the empress. The next day, the emperor spent the night with Lady Grace. Mona says that Lady Grace faked her injury to trap the emperor. Breeze warned her to not let others bully her like this. They said she needed to win the emperor's affection. Lady Grace acted so cocky because her father is a general. And good generals are hard to find in this empire. The emperor is willing to abide by Lady Grace's insolence. Breeze thinks she was behaving the same as at home. Mona told Breeze to never say those things again. She could be impeached for disrespect. Zhenzhen asked Mona what was on the schedule. Mona said that her duty was to take charge of the imperial court. Mona went on to talk about the emperor's other women. Mona talked about Lady Prudence, who was very virtuous. Mona also told her about Lady Solemn and Lady Joy. Zhenzhen dismissed the women, not wanting to know. Lady Grace arrived, greeting Zhenzhen. Lady Grace apologized for being late. Lady Grace said she did not feel well. She is Lady Grace, daughter of General Su. Zhenzhen had a strange feeling about Lady Grace. Lady Grace wants all of them to serve the emperor well. Her wise words humbled Lady Joy. Lady Joy asked about her health after her fall. Lady Grace is fine because the emperor gave her a thorough checkup. Zhenzhen asked why Lady Grace contacted the emperor instead of a doctor. Zhenzhen is suspicious of Lady Grace. Lady Joy tried to explain to Zhenzhen. Lady Grace ordered the eunuchs to report everything. Zhenzhen was very didactic. Lady Solemn agrees with Lady Joy. Lady Grace is still being overly considerate. She never expected the emperor to be so concerned about her. Zhenzhen thinks Lady Grace is challenging her for the throne. Zhenzhen wanted to reward Lady Joy. Lady Joy was excited to get a reward. Breeze thought Lady Grace's service was nothing special. Lady Joy would get a gift for serving the emperor. Lady Grace presented the trifle to Lady Joy. Lady Joy was surprised and disgusted. It was a frog. The emperor was asked if Lady Grace actually said that. Feng Yao said he did not lie. The emperor thanked him for his service. Feng Yao says it is an honor to serve the emperor. The jade toad is in pieces, and the emperor is displeased. He thought Zhenzhen was simply monstrous. The emperor was busy going through memorials. Zhenzhen offered to give the emperor soup. She said the emperor works so hard, and she wants to maintain his health. Lady Grace said she would carry it herself. Lady Grace told Feng Yao to let Lady Grace come in. Lady Grace told the emperor she's come to share his burden. Lady Grace personally boiled the soup for hours. Feng Yao said it must have been hard on Lady Grace. Lady Grace says it is an honor to serve the emperor. Lady Grace is sure the emperor was exhausted. The emperor knew that Lady Grace was a burden. Lady Grace was a noble concubine. He told Lady Grace to leave the imperial office. The emperor says it's no place for women. He tells her to move to the Palace of Tranquility. The emperor is angry that Yi Zhenzhen is making things hard for him. She was shocked that the emperor was kicking her out. Her attendant warned her about angering Lady Grace. Zhenzhen didn't think she was doing anything wrong. She didn't care because the emperor already disliked her. Her attendant asked about a sense of urgency to her work. She urgently wanted to finish the blueprint of the hand cannon. Her attendant says the emperor is here. Zhenzhen notices that it's already so late. She wondered why the emperor came to the palace. He asked her about where she got the blueprint from. She told him she found it at the royal garden. The emperor was dubious of her answer. He thinks the clerks misplaced it. Zhenzhen was surprised that this man was better than her in nonsense. The emperor agreed that the clerks should be set straight. He threatened to issue a decree to handle the matter. The empress knew she had to intercede. The emperor asked if she was going to claim she drew it herself. Yi Zhenzhen admitted she drew the blueprint herself. The emperor took a close look at the blueprint. He noticed some details were inaccurate and novice. How could Zhenzhen draw it, he demanded. Zhenzhen said she stole a cannon from her cousin and disassembled it. Her cousin, the commander of the royal guard. She exonerated her brother. Should this be the case? The emperor knew he had been deceived. Zhenzhen acknowledged her wrongdoing. Considering her first offense, he let it go, but warns her in the future. The emperor says she may leave. She was confused. What was he doing now? He tells her that she is mistaken. He asks her where she made the mistake. She can make one exactly. When the emperor asked to see, she denied him. The emperor was feeling refreshed and invigorated. The emperor hated Zhenzhen last night, but today she made him happy. Mona tells Zhenzhen there is something she doesn't understand. Mona thinks the emperor was visiting her palace. She wondered why he didn't stay. He left for Lady Prudence. The Empress wanted to know why. There were 2 officers that are competent in the imperial administration. One is Prime Minister Yi Ziyuming, and the other is Fang Ziyuking. They are opponents. They had the Yi and Fang parties. Initially, the emperor was in love with Lady Prudence. He wanted to make her empress. Yi Ziyuming opposed it. The prime minister wanted his granddaughter for the position. He tried to sabotage the marriage. He pointed out their zodiac signs were incompatible. The emperor did not believe marrying a woman would cause disaster. Feng Yao reports a major earthquake. The courtiers wanted the emperor to reconsider. A solar eclipse is a celestial sign, they cried. The emperor has made up his mind and says they may retire. The attendant warns him to heed the warning. The emperor did not care and was going to marry who he wanted. Fang Liyu became Lady Prudence because the emperor would not allow more. Zhenzhen wondered why the emperor wants her. He hates her as much as her grandfather, but she wants to keep her title as the Empress. Zhenzhen learns the Dowager Empress also likes Lady Prudence. The Dowager Empress told Zhenzhen to come greet her. Liyu, forgo the formalities, she said. How have you been lately? She asked. The Dowager likes Lady Prudence. What if Liyu becomes the real Empress? Breeze said Likyu was challenging her. Zhenzhen told Breeze to not be so reckless. Zhenzhen wants to hold her temper. Zhenzhen thinks it's no big deal. Breeze asks why Zhenzhen is consoling her instead. Mona says Breeze makes sense. His Majesty the Emperor. She asked that they don't talk about him again. It was the Mid-Autumn Festival, and the Emperor sent her a mooncake. The Emperor sent Zhenzhen a mooncake. He said she made herself. He asked if she had finally come to her senses. Then he tasted it. Zhenzhen killed the Emperor. Yi Zhenzhen, the Emperor, thinks, I will make you pay. People gossiped that the Emperor had eyes for their Empress. The Emperor allegedly hates the Empress. Preposterous, thought the Empress. Likyu, the Empress must remember. The Empress must be dethroned. The Yi family must never get the upper hand. Dethroning the Empress is easier said than done. Yi Zhenzhen might look simple, straightforward. Her intellect is beyond compare. She disguises her true intent. The Emperor hasn't spent the night with the Empress since the Toads. Lady, why so sad? Are you homesick? Don't ever say that again. The palace has been the Empress' home since she set foot in it. The Empress asks, Your Majesty. The Emperor responds, Yes, the one and only. The Emperor missed her so much. He begs, please don't be mad. The Empress says she's fine, really. It is urgent, someone announces. Something is wrong at the Palace of Dew. Lady Grace wails, wiping tears from her eyes. Lady Prudence tries to soothe her. It's okay. It's not Lady Grace's fault her pet died. Please don't cry. It's hard, Lady Prudence says, comforting Lady Grace. The Empress orders her maid to bring her the set of 12 toads. They will console Lady Grace. The maid says, I present to you His Majesty. Lady Grace is sure the Emperor will get her justice. The Emperor shouts Yi Zhenzhen's name. Are you aware of your misdeed? The Emperor asks. The Empress pretends she does not know what he means. The Emperor heard Lady Grace received poisoned mooncakes. Had she not fed her cat with it first? Meow. Lady Grace would have been murdered. How could the Empress allow this? Yes, Your Majesty, you are right. Jai Wuju is picking on me again. The Emperor gives the Empress 3 days to solve the case, or she will be punished again. Twice. When was the second time? The toxic mooncake. The Empress asks toxic mooncake. Huh. The Empress asks how the Emperor could be confident she will not solve it. The Emperor says it was the toxic mooncake she made personally. 2 days later, at the Palace of Tranquility. It's been 2 days already. Why are you sitting here doing nothing? Aren't you even anxious? She asks herself. The Empress insists she's trying to find the truth. She reveals the glazed shrimp mooncake, made exclusively for Lady Grace. No one else eats these mooncakes. It was obviously targeting Lady Grace. The black cat died as soon as it took a bite. What is this? The mooncake contains a special ingredient, the fragrant sour seed. The fragrant sour seed smells slightly sour. However, it will lead to a toxic reaction with crabs or shrimps. Could it be someone from the Imperial Kitchen? The Imperial Kitchen was arrested. No fragrant sour seeds were found. Kitchen workers say production of the spice is extremely scarce. The only possibility is someone smuggled it in from outside. It complicates the investigation. Lady Grace made quite a lot of enemies in the palace. The list is endless. A small dosage might not even be lethal. Damn it. The Empress swears she'd do something if she found the culprit. The maid runs to the Empress with bad news. The Empress asks why Breeze is running. The maid exclaims that Ding Daxiang just committed suicide. The Empress asks, W who? Ding Daxiang, the young eunuch in charge of cleaning. Moreover, the Empress thought to herself. They found fragrant sour seeds on his body. The Empress arrives to ask what happened. The palace worker says he shares a room with Ding Daxiang. He found him like this. The maid tells the Empress that those seeds were on Ding Daxiang. The Empress realizes, fragrant sour seeds, he hung himself. The Palace of Tranquility, oh no. The Empress tells Mona to stay and look for anything suspicious. The Empress commands Breeze to summon all the eunuchs. The Empress says to knock out anyone who approaches the Hall of Mental Cultivation. But what does Her Majesty mean? The Empress commands them to take care and not let her get hurt. Wang Xiaohu kneels before the Emperor to report something. A rumble is heard as the Empress and her maids barge in. The Emperor asks, "Empress." The Emperor questions what the matter is. He needs a good explanation. The Empress enters. The Empress reports Ding Daxiang is not dead. He confessed everything. Wang Xiaohu pretends he doesn't understand. Wang Xiaohu's mentor is an expert in cakes and pastries, also the glazed shrimp mooncakes. Wang Xiaohu wasn't on duty when the mooncakes were made and wasn't arrested. The opportunity to report to the Emperor just now was all part of the plan. The Empress asks Wang Xiaohu what he was planning. The Empress says she never instructed Wang Xiaohu to mix the fragrant sour seeds. The Empress asks the eunuch to explain. The Empress states Wang Xiaohu must have been working with Ding Daxiang. Wang Xiaohu persuaded Daxiang to hide the evidence in his pocket. Wang Xiaohu could come and report Daxiang to His Majesty. The Empress says it would be impossible for her to exonerate herself. The plan would get rid of Lady Grace and make the Empress the culprit. Killing two birds with one stone, a pretty awesome scheme. The Empress demands to know who ordered him. Wang Xiaohu says he did it out of a grudge against Lady Grace. Wang Xiaohu begs the Empress to punish him. "Your master taught you well," the Empress says. The Empress says she doesn't care what promises he received from Lady Worth. The Empress claims she can give him everything that Lady Worth promised. The Empress smiles and says she could never achieve it. Wang Xiaohu says Lady Worth threatened his family, and he had no choice. Wang Xiaohu begs for mercy. The Empress says he may be at ease. Lady Worth is bluffing. Lady Worth's father is no fool. They have no cause to use their family. Wang Xiaohu says his life is the Empress to the end of days. Wang Xiaohu asks if he may ask the Empress something. Wang Xiaohu asks how the Empress found out about Lady Worth being behind it. The Empress says it was a hunch. The Empress declares the matter settled and can finally get some rest. Everything else will be handled by the corresponding parties. The Empress asks Wang Yaokai if he's new in the palace. The Empress asks what's happening outside the palace. The scene is of trees and leaves. A cook opened a new restaurant serving raw fish. Wang Yaokai apologizes and says he's waiting for his punishment. The Empress says it's no big deal and doesn't want to punish him. The Empress says the Emperor will understand. The Empress starts to think of the Emperor. The Emperor is very angry. The Emperor's servant says she'll be back any minute. The Emperor tells the Empress he saw she was having a pleasant chat with the eunuch. The Empress asks how she would dare. The Emperor accuses the Empress of breaking the rules. The Emperor asks when she started to suspect this was a scheme. The Empress answers, to be honest from the beginning. The timing was just too perfect, as if he wanted to be found by the authorities. The Empress says it was a simple deduction. The Empress is discussing the recent incident. The Empress says the prime suspect is Lady Grace. The Emperor is impressed and asks why she didn't suspect Lady Prudence. The Empress says she didn't suspect Lady Prudence because the Emperor handpicked her. The Emperor says if she did, he'd have tormented her. The Emperor questions why Lady Worth meant harm to the Empress. The Empress starts to speak her mind because she is known for being blunt. The Empress says this is a serious matter and she'd like to put aside her personal suspicion. The Emperor said, so be it. You're a very smart woman. The Empress disagrees, no, not smart, but a genius. Someone announces Lady Worth has been exiled. Lady Worth is going to invite Lady Worth to the side hall of the Palace of Moon. Lady Worth is going to invite Lady Worth to the side hall of the Palace of Moon. The servant asks, but the Palace of Moon is the residence of Lady Prudence. The Empress says precisely. Lady Prudence needs to learn her lesson. The new character's name is Wang Yaokai. Wang Yaokai is about to summon everyone now. The Emperor waives no need. The Empress arrives to question the Emperor. The Emperor says He's been trying to understand the 9-grid game. The Emperor points out the rules of the 9-grid game. The Emperor says it's a fine game. The Empress explains the game has 3 levels of difficulty. The Empress taps the game and says, "Done." The Emperor and Empress look at each other shocked. The Emperor says it was beginner's luck. The Empress says, "Oh, really?" The Emperor and Empress are about to play another game. The Emperor says the Empress is impossible. The Empress calls out to the Emperor. The Emperor says the Empress misplaced the piece. The Empress has prepared a gift for the Emperor's birthday. The Empress says the construction was difficult without the blueprint. The Empress explains to the Emperor that the gift is a model number 1. The Emperor asks the Empress who she despises the most. The Empress admits it is Lady Solemn, because Lady Solemn is too diligent. The Emperor calls out to Feng Yaod. The Emperor wants to stay the night with Lady Solemn. It is the Emperor's birthday. The Empress says the day will be perfect. The servant agrees with the Empress. The heavens are rewarding the Emperor. The Emperor thanks the ladies and requests them to write a poem. The Emperor asks Yao to fetch the brushes. The Empress wonders, write a poem. The Empress can't understand what's going on in his head. The Emperor leaves the Empress and decides to see Lady Solemn. The Empress then realizes the Emperor also wants her to write a poem. The Empress is confused about what the Emperor is up to. The Empress states, "So be it." The Empress says, "You want a poem, you got it." The Emperor reads Mistress Wang's poem. The Emperor says the poem is wonderful. The Emperor asks the Empress to show him hers. The Emperor exclaims her poem is truly amazing. The Empress states poets are often shameless. Therefore, such talent might not necessarily be a good thing anyway. The Emperor smiles and points out that it's his birthday. Lady Grace tells the Emperor that Lady Prudence will play a melody to celebrate. The Emperor gives his permission for Lady Prudence to play. Lady Prudence states that as long as she plays her tune. The lights are off. Lady Prudence plays. The Emperor won't look at anyone else but Lady Prudence. Since Lady Grace will play, the servant offers to sing. The servant suggests there needs to be a dancer. The Empress smiles and agrees that can be arranged. The Empress found a beautiful dancer. Bare feet dance. The song is, "The spring breeze blows over her." The Emperor is disturbed by the lyrics. Lady Grace and the Empress stare at the dancers. The Empress said she found the perfect lady with the matching description. The Empress hoped she'd look exquisite this way. The Emperor has had enough. The Empress wonders what's happening. Lady Prudence is angry. She knows what they're implying with that preparation. His Majesty's preferences are clear. Patience, she tells herself, patience. The Emperor's whims are law. Pleasing him is the game. She'll change the game soon. A gift at the opportune moment. It looks deceptively serene. Who would be so generous? Gifts pile up in her palace of dew. Lady Grace, here she comes. The Emperor wants to reward you. A reward for tireless efforts. She smiles, a false warmth in her eyes. "I have a question," she says, rising. Pure intentions, what a joke. Is Grace suggesting defiance? Kneel, the maid is stunned. Disgraced by incompetence, she prostrates. Mercy, the Empress is unmoved. The Empress will not trust empty words. Fanchun, slap her, she commands. She's a maid of the Empress. Who dares question that? Who did this to you? The Empress asks. Sayu answers, Lady Grace. Vulgar but justified. This is not an excuse to harm my people. I must do something by the name of the Empire. If she wants war, I'll give her war, Sayu seethes. The maid prostrates. Calm down, my lady. A political war will endanger Sayu. The maid realizes. Don't worry, child. I know what I'm doing. Beware of Lady Prudence, Sayu pleads. Yi Zhenzhen's hand clenches. I will retaliate. An imperial summons. The Emperor awaits at Lush Heart Pavilion. It seems she's expected. I present you the Empress, he declared coldly. The gift arrives. What is this supposed to mean? Another maid found dead. in front of the Emperor and Lady Wang. The Emperor blames the Empress. Discipline all the imperial harem, he orders. The Emperor isn't seeking justice. The Emperor is making a fuss on purpose. Incompetence or betrayal. The Grand Empress lurks too. What should she do? How could anyone be so sinister? My lady, please be quiet. Be careful, there are ears everywhere. Don't call His Majesty by his name. Lady Grace will destroy the Empress. Remember, Empress, your enemies are not powerless. This is unlike your own house. Hate and envy are lurking. They will devour her. Why can't you cuddle me like the other maids? Your temper gets the best of you. Be wise, Sayu warns, or your family is in danger. Thank you for your concern. How can I protect them? The House of Yi is growing powerful. The Emperor sees everything. They expand on political ground. Wujiu is a tiger at its prime. Minister, Yi is like an old lion. But even the wise can be swayed. How can she save them? Making her the Empress was a mistake, she thinks to herself. You did a good job, boy, Minister Yi thinks. Minister Yi, you may leave now. You can't underestimate the Empress. His Majesty, what was the name of her maid again? Let's keep an eye on them a little longer. And watch how she handles it. The maid who died near the Lush Heart Pavilion. The maid talked to the Empress in a dream. The maid revealed her murderer. Really? Everyone at the palace already knows. The murderer offended the floral deity. The floral deity. Her Majesty need not do anything. The floral deity will punish the murderer. Is her name Fanchun? She is likely to offend the floral deity. Straightening up the harem is my duty. I'd better do my job properly. Something huge happened at the Palace of Tranquility. Her Majesty is straightening the harem. Something is about to change. She reads the charges, Fan Chunhua. Guilty, Tian Agu pleads. The accused kneel before the Empress. The court awaits the verdict. All plead guilty, punish them accordingly. Soon. Setting discipline is good and all. This is all part of a plan. Stop it right now. What crime has Fanchun been charged with? Poisoning Lady Wu. Forcing Lady Sun to lose her unborn child. Almost drowning Lady Worth. The arson was nothing but hearsay. Stay away from this wretched one. Lady Grace thinks her claims are ridiculous. How dare you speak to me in that tone? Su Feng, slap her. Yes, Su Feng, I dare you. Lady Grace is slapped. What, are you insane? What have you done? You will pay for your arrogance. I will tell him everything. Given time to see His Majesty later. Escort her back to the Palace of Dew. The maid was slapped for you. I'll spare some of your punishment. What is it? I'm sorry I couldn't do it. You did nothing wrong. We can't have what happened to Sayu happen to you. You slapped Lady Grace today, a victory. But it was very close. Lady Grace will tattle to His Majesty. She's counting on it. He won't even listen to her story. What? The Empress punished all court ladies. And she's waiting outside. Should I let her in? No, then. The Empress was carrying out my orders. Ground Lady Grace for 2 months and make her apologize. Grounded for 2 months. Isn't that a little too much? He thinks he's punished her enough. 2 months. Lady Grace is essential to the fight against Lady Prudence. Where did you get this from? It was a tribute from a Portuguese merchant. That was a good distraction. Now about why you're here. Of course, you are heading to North Yan soon. Please, let me come with you. I knew it. Answer my questions first. What do you think about that? Don't be modest. The project will save the Empire. I haven't yet found the right candidate. Do you have anyone in mind? This could be a trick question. My loyalty lies. Sure, you'll find a good candidate. Just ask me anything other than that. Okay. Prevent embezzlement. Keep the money with the Ministry of Revenue. Exemption from tax. Local troops could help too. Call it relief training. Quite a good one. Then my Empress. Let's visit Mother with me. Don't we greet her in the morning? You don't have to visit me this much. Please, my Grand Empress. I'm your son. It's my pleasure to see you. By the way, Sutra Lady Prudence copied for the Grand Empress. She really put her heart into it. I'm glad you like it. She's a sweetie. How have you two been doing lately? So rude. I know how to handle these. You don't have to worry. How can I worry about my son? I appreciate what you've done for me. You don't have to do it for her. Why does he look happy? Go hunt with me. My lady. Is she really going to remain silent from now on? Now she's waiting. His Majesty still loves you dearly. Did Eunuch Feng come to deliver the hunting trip words? Imperial hunting tour. Arrived at the hunting ground, finally. Be careful. You smell so lovely today. You have a good sense of smell. This trip is special to me. Help. Are you okay? What just happened? Is this? Welcome. Welcome. Are you carrying a concealed weapon? He could charge me with treason. How could I have forgotten? She was finally escaping. Where does Lady Grace think she's going? Empress Zhenzhen faked illness. The Emperor, Jai Wuju, let her leave. Yao'd take the Empress to the physician. Zhenzhen was lost. Where was she? Running away wasn't such a great idea after all. The ride was fun, though. Getting lost wasn't part of the plan. Zhenzhen was suspicious, too quiet. Not even a bird. The beast was hidden. The horse was terrified. What was going on? A tiger. It was testing her strength. What am I thinking? I have my arrows. I'll take the shot. I think my leg is broken. The tiger attacked. The sleeve arrow was gone. Crap, I took off my sleeve arrow. I knew it was a dumb move. The tiger closed in. Is this the end of me? This arrow is for the Emperor. This would mean that. Jai Wujiu was angry. How dare you go into the forest alone? His hands were shaking. If only I hadn't been late. Zhenzhen was hurt. Your Majesty, I broke my leg. Jai Wujiu was silent. You will be okay. He bandaged her leg. Zhenzhen's surprise. Your Majesty. Don't move. Jai Wujiu was concerned. Unless you want to hurt your leg further. I just wanted to say, your hands are cold. He carried her. The Emperor thought, she really is something. Did you see the size of that beast? The Emperor took it out with one shot. His Majesty will reward that prey. It must be Lady Grace. But why? Because His Majesty is heading to her palace. We are honored. Jai Wujiu arrived. Take your seat. He took her hand. Lady Grace greeted the Emperor. You killed a tiger today. Congratulations. He offered her a flower. Had I not forced her to remove her arrow, she might not have been in danger. What? He regretted his actions. The Empress wanted to know, are you giving me that tiger? The Grand Empress arrived. Please don't get up. Jai Wujiu was concerned. The recovery is going to take forever. The Grand Empress's thoughts. You must definitely rest well. Zhenzhen responded, thank you for your kindness. The Grand Empress offered, leave the trivial matters to us. The Grand Empress offered, leave the trivial matters to us. The Grand Empress proposed Lady Prudence. Zhenzhen, wouldn't you like that, huh? Zhenzhen asked, Your Majesty, what do you think? The Empress should recover. Jai Wujiu agreed. I accept in goodwill. Zhenzhen would rest for a few months. Yes, you should. We will be moving on. Lady Prudence would handle the harem. Certainly, I shall do my best. Zhenzhen thought, inexperienced in that case. Zhenzhen appointed Lady Solemn. Assist Lady Prudence. Lady Prudence would be assisted by Lady Solemn. As you wish. The Grand Empress is using Lady Prudence to level the power play. She's the Grand Empress's ally. It was bound to happen. You just can't let your guard down. I appointed Lady Solemn. Her docile nature can be useful. What I'm worried about is Lady Grace. A woman's scorn is vengeful. But Lady Grace will be grounded for 2 months. Jai Wujiu only cares about his country, but when it comes to women, He's looking for a comfort, and Lady Grace understands it very clearly. I don't mind taking a little break, since there are plenty of other things that I would like to do. A eunuch said, I bring the person you asked for. He announced, long live the Empress. Zhenzhen summoned Jai Wuju. The eunuch said, she's been talking to the merchant. They seem to fascinate her. Jai Wuju thought, Her Majesty must be bored. No big deal. She needs her rest. That's all I need from her now. If you say so. Jai Wuju was skeptical. She will find out soon. This is a monocular. You can see objects far away. Zhenzhen tried the monocular. Oh, mother, she saw her family. And grandma, my in-laws. The cavalry is here. Leave us and close the door. Zhenzhen, let grandma take a good look at you. Oh dear, how's your leg? How's your life in palace? Don't worry, my life is perfect. And mother, what's the occasion? His Majesty sent us word about your injury. Let's use this time to catch up. Do you know about Su Weirong? Oh, her name is Su Weirong. She was engaged and everything was fine until something happened near the wedding. The fiancé canceled the engagement because of his illness. The guy eloped with someone else. He cheated on the Grand Empress's niece. That fool must have a death wish. The truth can never be concealed. So that's why the wedding was off. Now he must run far, run fast. Stop sympathizing with a stranger. Worry about yourself. What about me? What if she ends up in your harem, but she's the emperor's cousin? Su's family is powerful. Then you will have adversaries to worry about. What is it about imperial court? Is Jai Wuju going to have a new consort? What do I care about the emperor acquiring a new consort? Zhenzhen thinks it is awful that Su lost her fiancé. Jai Wuju thinks Su is the same age as Zhenzhen. Jai Wuju supposes the Grand Empress mentioned Su. Zhenzhen wonders if Jai Wuju wants Su as a concubine. Jai Wuju tells Zhenzhen that she is the Empress. Zhenzhen realizes Jai Wuju means he leaves the decision to her. Jai Wuju says Su is nothing to him. Jai Wuju wants to know if Zhenzhen is satisfied. Zhenzhen will not let Su enter the harem. Jai Wuju thinks Su will never be able to enter the harem this way. Su Weirong entered the palace. Jai Wuju is angry that he was not informed. The Grand Empress claims the matter does not require approval. Lady Prudence claims the Empress gave her authority to consult the Grand Empress. The Grand Empress claims to know Su well. The Grand Empress claims Jai Wuju liked Su. Zhenzhen agrees as long as it is what Jai Wuju wants. Jai Wuju feels the things are going sideways. Jai Wuju is troubled. Zhenzhen wonders why Jai Wuju is acting troubled. Jai Wuju thinks to himself that Su is only a concubine. Zhenzhen begins drawing. Jai Wuju notices Zhenzhen drawing a multiple-shot hand cannon. Zhenzhen asks Jai Wuju why he has been visiting her palace often recently. Jai Wuju asks Zhenzhen if he rewards the consorts. Jai Wuju says it's his job to reward the consorts who served him in bed. Zhenzhen wonders if there's a particular meaning in giving consorts toads. Jai Wuju says it means they're chasing Zhenzhen. Jai Wuju asks Zhenzhen if she's one of the toads. Zhenzhen says she's the Empress, so she's a swan. Zhenzhen asks if Lady Prudence is a toad. Jai Wuju says Lady Prudence is like Chang'e, the fairy from the moon. Jai Wuju says Chang'e is another symbol for toads. Zhenzhen says Lady Prudence is still a toad to Jai Wuju. Zhenzhen wonders why Jai Wuju isn't leaving after supper. Zhenzhen summons Feng Yaod and asks Jai Wuju to choose a consort. Jai Wuju says it is not necessary. Zhenzhen asks Jai Wuju which toad he's planning to send her. Zhenzhen claims her injury means she can't be of any help tonight. Jai Wuju says it's okay, and he wants to stay there. Jai Wuju tells Zhenzhen to sleep, and that he'll keep working. Jai Wuju wonders if Zhenzhen is pretty when she's asleep. Jai Wuju is surprised that Zhenzhen is hugging him. Zhenzhen is touching Jai Wuju while she sleeps. Jai Wuju wonders why Zhenzhen is scratching him. Jai Wuju thinks to himself that Zhenzhen is his wife after all. Jai Wujiu thinks to himself that it shouldn't be a big deal if he. Zhenzhen wakes up. Jai Wujiu insisted on waiting to eat breakfast together. Zhenzhen's maid asks if she slept well. Zhenzhen claims to have had a weird dream. Zhenzhen's dream about playing with a pair of nuts. Zhenzhen's maid is flustered and mentions that it's time for the morning audience. Jai Wujiu rises and says he's late for his morning audience. Zhenzhen's maids wonder what's up with him. Jai Wujiu asks about Lady Prudence's management of the harem. Jai Wujiu is pleased to hear she's been diligent with Lady Solemn. Yaod asked if Jai Wujiu would like him to bring Lady Prudence's token. Jai Wujiu tells him there's no need. One of the consorts notes that Jai Wujiu hasn't visited the Palace of Moon. The consorts wonders if Zhenzhen said something to Jai Wujiu. One of the consorts believes Zhenzhen is cunning. One of the consorts believes Zhenzhen's intentions are hard to predict. Lady Prudence wonders if she offended the Emperor. Lady Prudence is informed that bamboo from the Hall of Illumination is kneeling outside. Lady Prudence is surprised that someone from the Hall of Illumination has arrived. Lady Prudence realizes she and Lady Solemn are on opposite sides. Lady Prudence allows them in. Lady Prudence's maid replies. Lady Prudence demands to know if she's sure of what she saw. The maid claims to be telling the truth. The maid is willing to put her life on it. Lady Prudence wonders why she didn't report to Lady Solemn. The maid claims that she treats people with fairness. Lady Prudence realizes someone wants to use her against someone else. Lady Prudence resigns herself to being used. Lady Prudence resolves to turn their trick to her use. Lady Solemn welcomes Lady Prudence. Lady Solemn asked why Lady Prudence came to see her. Lady Prudence claims to be inquiring about a particular matter. Lady Prudence wants to know if noble Lady Sun lives at the Hall of Illumination. Lady Solemn summons the noble Lady Sun. Lady Prudence demands to know where Lady Sun's room is. Lady Solemn wonders what she means. Lady Prudence apologizes for her intrusion. Lady Solemn is surprised that Lady Prudence has confidence to be so outright. Lady Solemn tells one of the servants to immediately inform Empress Zhenzhen if things get out of control. Lady Solemn warns her to be smart. Noble Lady Sun asks why she wasn't notified before the visit. Lady Prudence orders them to search the room. Noble Lady Sun asks what they are searching for. A servant claims they found it. The servant has found men's clothing and footwear. The servant claims they found a full set of it. Lady Prudence asked the noble Lady Sun for explanation. Lady Prudence demands an explanation from Lady Sun. Noble Lady Sun denies knowing where the attires come from. Lady Solemn is urgently called. She begs not to be betrayed. Her loyalty is unwavering. She prays for help. No one understands. The situation is intolerable. It must be stopped. Lady Prudence believes in innocence until proven otherwise. Dayuan must inform the Emperor of ongoing investigations. Kuifeng is ordered to lock down the hall. No one leaves. Lady Solemn questions the lockdown's necessity. Lady Prudence justifies the confinement. Truth must be found. Information controlled. Lady Prudence suggests including the Empress, but that may be dangerous. Lady Solemn realizes the Empress must be protected. The Emperor can't blame her. Is Lady Prudence truly concerned for the Empress's well-being, or shifting blame? Lady Prudence is challenged. Lady Sun is hit. She's in pain. The maid suggests the clothes belong to eunuch. But Lady Sun wouldn't hide eunuch clothes in her room. Something's off. Lady Sun suspects Lady Prudence is keeping her in the dark. The maid downplays it. Lady Sun knows better. Lady Sun will be implicated if this happened in the Hall of Illumination. Lady Solemn, already on the team of the Empress, might be hurt by what happened with Lady Sun. This is an opportunity to crush Lady Solemn. Seize the moment. Lady Prudence may look innocent, but Lady Sun was framed. Could Lady Prudence be framing an innocent woman? Lady Sun is summoned and ordered to kneel. It's best she confesses. Lady Prudence insists All investigations are done. Lady Sun cries out, claiming innocence. The Emperor wants to believe Lady Sun, but proof is needed. Lady Sun is ordered to confess. Blame for her sin is due to the Empress. People like Lady Sun are making life difficult for the Empress. It's over. Lady Solemn understands Lady Prudence's plans. Lady Solemn apologizes to Lady Prudence, but her challenge is clear. Lady Prudence insists her sincerity is being twisted. Lady Prudence, with cup in hand, insists the wicked must be punished. Lady Prudence asks the Emperor how to handle this. The Emperor gives Lady Prudence free rein. The Emperor suggests finding Lady Sun's lover first. Lady Prudence wonders, how can she find him if Lady Sun is innocent? There's no turning back now. Guards escort Lady Sun. Lady Prudence watches Lady Solemn. Lady Solemn kneels before the Emperor. Lady Solemn accepts punishment for negligence. The Emperor lessens the punishment, budget cut and confinement. The Emperor announces that the Empress would come. The Empress arrives on the scene. The Empress asks why she wasn't invited. Lady Prudence claims she wanted to assure the Empress's rest. The Empress commands silence. No one answers for His Majesty. Lady Prudence apologizes. The Emperor silences her. The Empress demands proof. The Empress will question the witness. Tell me, time and location of the man in Lady Sun's bedroom. The witness saw a man climb through the window last night at 10. The witness claims the palace gates weren't locked and guards ignored. The witness claims he climbed in from the wall, possibly. The Empress needs more information from the witness. The witness says it was dark, but the man wore a palace guard uniform. The Empress asks about the wall. Footprints could be found since there was no rain. Wang Yaokai is ordered to search for traces. Empress knows what to do. The Emperor questions the Empress's judgment. The Empress says her verdict depends on the evidence. Lady Prudence rationalized her decision, in vain. Wang Yaokai states there were no traces of infiltration. The Empress suspects the intruder is skilled in martial arts. The guard uniform found is new. This implies a guard affair, but the garment is new. The Empress snaps her fingers. Great point about Lady Sun's gift to a guard. The uniform seems to be from the guard's own batch. The Ministry of War issued, and made by common shops. Ministry of Finance is the subject next. Lady Prudence must know this more than she does. Don't exchange glances until the Empress finishes. The Empress is working. The garment doesn't belong to a normal guard. Are imperial guards coded by identity? Their collars are a form of identification. But there are no codes on the collar. Lady Sun offended someone powerful. The scheme is vicious and unforgivable. There are loopholes, but Lady Prudence is still determined, reckless. The Emperor is only interested in protecting the dignity of the harem. The witness is what matters since the material evidence is questionable. Bamboo saw him clearly. The Empress is suspicious of Bamboo. Valuables from Bamboo's house. A maid with jewelry is weird, bribed to frame Lady Sun. The Empress gives Bamboo one more chance. Bamboo will confess. Bamboo begs for forgiveness. Something is off, and he knows it. The Emperor knew Lady Sun was framed. Why didn't you say anything? The Emperor was too impatient. The Empress thought, what does the Emperor want? The truth would have been too late. Jai Wujiu would be cheated on by a concubine. Lady Sun would have been punished harder. Really, necessary to be so cruel to a woman he once loved. Someone is calling for the Emperor to arrive. Lady Sun is hanging herself. The Empress is curious and is told about noble Lady Sun. Lady Sun wants to die, but someone stopped her, and we'll see how she is doing. The Empress thinks if someone tried to hang herself early, then she must not want to die, and will tell the Emperor. The Empress says the maid is going to take some gifts to her. The Empress shows that she knows about her innocence. This is the time to give her some breathing room. A decree to promote Lady Sun to the title of Lady Chastity. Jai Wujiu is generous, so he must be in a good mood. The Empress will mention it to the Emperor. What did she say? The Empress says she wants to appoint a Western scholar. The Imperial Academy can't offer courses that are not traditional. Empress have been reading on the Western people and have found new knowledge. The Emperor believed the subject would be useful. The Empress says, why doesn't she become the next teacher of Western studies? The Empress says, because she's the Empress, she should have the authority to choose her position. The Emperor asks if it's okay for a woman to work in a group full of men. The Empress states she would never suppress a topic. The Emperor says, tell him why it is so important. The Empress says those that live in other nations are strong, and it is possible we would need to watch out for them. The Empress says instead of waiting, we need to be prepared. The Emperor asks, how could she be so sure they would attack? The Empress states they have to worry about their Emperor and what he might do. The Empress states the only reason they haven't attacked is because they don't have the resources. The Emperor says this could be a temporary problem, so they should take precautions. The Emperor wants some time to reflect on what he said. The Empress says what they should talk about. The Emperor says the Empress deserves a reward. The Empress doesn't want a reward. Name it. The Emperor asks her what she wants as a reward. The Emperor is shocked when the Empress says what she said. But she has to admit it feels good. The Empress grabs his face. The maid is caught between them and says sorry. The Emperor calls the maid back and asks what the matter is. The maid says that the Mother Empress is asking to see him. The Empress Mother wants to talk about what she thinks about Wyern. The Empress Mother is saying that he is talking about who would be his next queen. The new person is the Empress, Dowager's niece, and is closer to her than Lady Prudence. She would be a problem if she became an Empress. The mother is saying Wyern is sweet and elegant. Empress states it's best to have her take exams to become an officer. The Emperor states she must be partying for the people to know her as much as they do. It would be best to stay out of it, since the Emperor is probably mad at her. The Empress decides to be quiet about the situation. The Emperor didn't know what they had to say to him about the topic. The result is that Wyern would have to become a 6th rank. The Emperor says he likes the bargaining that the Empress is making. If you dethrone me, I will start a business. She's going to show him she is capable of becoming a businesswoman. The Emperor questions if she would ever get dethroned. The Empress knows she can never dethrone the Emperor. I won't dethrone you. His Majesty has left the palace to have a meeting with the staff. How about dinner tonight? Ever since the Empress had been married, she had to deal with challenges. The Emperor can do what he wanted with her life. The Empress can't come for dinner tonight. The Empress says she needs to go outside for some fresh air. No big deal. Someone help, there seems to be a commotion. The Empress has fallen. To where? Commander Lu is there. Are you all right? I can't believe it's you. Commander Lu comforts the Empress after what happened. Commander, help her get back to the Palace of Tranquility. Commander Lu goes back to the palace with the injured Empress. What happened? Empress. The Empress fell in the water, and we are taking her back. I apologize for holding the Empress. I still deserve punishment. No, it's okay. You were trying to help, thank you. Hurry up, I am freezing. Aren't you worried about your leg? Why were you crying? Mind your business. I've never seen you cry. The Empress got a cold and needs to be cared for. They should be careful of her getting a fever as they heal her. Since she isn't fully healed, her leg will be impacted. Also, the wounds on her hand will need care as well. There appears to be a tear on her wrist, they think. You are playing with fire. You could have died from it. Consider yourself lucky you only got a torn wrist. Don't hide in there. Oh, by the way, she tells a maid to retrieve what she dropped in the pond. She instead orders the other maid to do the job. The Emperor says she belongs to him. You are forbidden from playing with that again. The Empress has a fever. Bring the medicine. You need to drink this medicine. We can't get her to swallow the medicine. Let me do it. Gently pour it into her mouth. That was exhausting. You can leave now. The emperor states what he noticed about the empress. The empress is calling for the family. I don't want to marry the emperor. All in all, we are already husband and wife. He claimed she was the only one to be buried by his side, together until death. How many lifetimes had they prayed for this? Yet they remain distant, even in bed. Maybe it shouldn't have happened at all. Lady Grace needs to take care of herself. No cold, please. The emperor left after breakfast. Lady Grace is alone. Sayu, take me to the plum garden. It's the first snow. But my lady, you haven't fully recovered. Sayu, who do you serve? Take me for a stroll. Fine. Lady Grace sees others gathering. Why are there so many people here? Lady Grace realizes they came to see the Emperor Jai Wujiu. He kneels, injured. Forgive me, Your Majesty. Jai Wujiu asks if Lady Grace feels better, touching her head. Yes. Lady Prudence's arrival signals a change. Jai Wujiu is no longer angry with Lady Grace. Your Majesty, be careful not to catch a cold again. Lady Solemn shows concern. Lady Grace appreciates it. Jai Wujiu, it's cold. Let's move into the plum house. Jai Wujiu is told that Lady Grace is no longer grounded. Lady Grace offers plum blossoms, a gift of respect. It's not valuable, Your Majesty, but it shows my respect. Wang Yaokai helped Lady Grace. She smiles. Jai Wujiu questions why she only thought of the Empress. What about mine? Your Majesty, I can pick another branch for you. Jai Wujiu refuses. There's a plum tree in your palace too. Lady Grace is being very smart. Jai Wujiu punished her for rudeness to Lady Solemn. Now that she has shown respect to Lady Solemn, Jai Wujiu is pleased. Jai Wujiu is very pleased with Lady Grace's changed attitude. Someone asks, what's on your mind? Another replies, Lady Grace looks like a plum fairy. But she will never become a real plum fairy. Lady Grace is back in the game. Prudence won't let her off the hook. Jai Wujiu's cousin, Su Wirong, is joining the harem. Things are about to get interesting in the harem.